Good morning, folks. One of the projects I have to do while the weather is improving is my truck. I've been using the truck yesterday and I'm using it today. You can't keep paint on this truck. It peels. I brushed it on, I've sprayed it on, I use Rust-Oleum. When in the summertime, it turns dull, gray, and peels. By the time winter gets here, or spring, it's all peeled. And I'll show you what it looks like and what I have to do. First of all, believe it or not, there's one or two pinholes in the hood. I've been getting water on the air cleaner, and I can't figure out what it was until I had the hood up and I saw light coming through. Pinholes, of all things, in the hood. I painted this so many times. You can see where I sanded it. I could never get it down good. And I hate sanding anyway, so it shows, of course. It's down to the primer. And what I got to do is to sand aggressively. And off camera as always. I got a lot of work to do. Now you're probably wondering what this tape is here. I put this on last year because I was getting a whistle. Ever since they replaced the windshield in this a couple of years ago, I've been getting a whistle at 55, 60 miles an hour. It drives me nuts, and I couldn't find out where it was coming from. Actually, it was whistling underneath this rubber here. So I put tape on it, electrical tape on it, and there's no more whistling. So, but anyways, what I got to do is I got to sand the hell out of this. All right, you see how bad that is? It's really bad. I cannot keep paint on this truck. If you look here, this has been painted with Rust-Oleum, the good quality, the expensive one, high gloss, black. And what it does is it turns gray. It dulls, it gets dull, it goes right down to the primer. You can see where I've done it here. Down here is the original paint. So the sun beating on it, that's what happens. It turns like this. So I said to hell with it. As far as the roof is concerned, I'm going to brush it on. That's what I've done before on the roof. I brushed it on. I've sprayed it every year, except for the last few years I haven't been doing it. And whether I spray it, whether I brush it, it still peels off. So you don't get a nice finish like this is the original paint here. So when it comes to these things, it's a losing battle. Same with body work. So that's the project for today. I'm going to sand this, peel this tape off here, and put paint on there and put the tape back on. Well, you know, when you got an old truck, this is a 91, and I'm not going to be able to get it much better than that. Like I say, I hate sanding. I hate it with a passion. I like to get it done quick and get it out of the way and get the paint on it. It peels anyways, because I've spent a lot of time in the years when I first got the truck to do a real good job on it, and it still peels, so what the hell. We'll just slap a coat of paint on it. Now the thing is, it's about 55 or 57 degrees out here, but this roof is super hot, because there's not a cloud in the sky, which is a perfect day. The problem is, this roof is cooking. I guess it would make the paint dry quicker. That's for sure. So I peeled off the electrical tape up here. And I'm going to brush this on, of course, because I got the Rust-Oleum paint, high gloss oil base. So I'm going to just brush it on, but I got a lot of sanding. I only sanded over here yet. I got to get up on the roof, and I'll tell you, not on the roof, but to get up here to reach the other areas. I'm using, this is 80, I guess, of course. I don't know, 60 or 80. Anyways, now here is silicone, because my back window leaked years ago. So it's Permatex silicone, it's black. So I can only go down to about here with the paint. It'll keep, I just don't want the roof to leak. Because if you come over here on the hood, you can't see it, but there's a pinhole in here. So I'm going to sand as much as I can on that. And go with a lighter grit until about a 150. And then I might finish it with a 200 or 250 or 220 or whatever it is. And we're just going to paint it. I'm not going to even prime it because I don't want to wait for the primer to dry. It dries quick anyways. It doesn't matter because it's going to peel no matter what I do to it. So I figure if I do this once a year, I can keep this truck going for a while. Another thing that happened a couple months ago is the brake release handle came off. Well, I got some 1/8" steel rod that I use for Uncle Dorkel's eye mechanism. I had some left over. I drilled a hole in this bar here, and I made a ring. And if you look at it, it's got a piece of rubber vacuum hose on it. It's completely closed in. I bent it with 2 pairs of pliers, and it's better than the original. Hey, so we're keeping her going here, folks. We're keeping her going. All right, you got 60 grit. That's what I started with. Before you guys say anything, you guys that do body work, this is the do-it-yourself. I'm just sharing some of my work with everybody out there. The way I do it is not the right way. It's what I can afford. Somebody would probably say, why don't you sandblast this down? I don't have the money for sandblasted equipment. I don't have a compressor that would run it. So I'm just sanding on that. I'm going to go with 150 now on this, and then I'm going to go with 220. Then I'm going to take some paint thinner and go over the whole thing to wipe it down, and then I'm going to paint it. It's just like on the van here. I went over this 5 or 6 times in the years that I was doing this, and the rust still comes through. Rust neutralizer, everything else, and it still looks like hell. It's a losing battle. It's a losing battle. There's some rust coming through here. It feels okay on the inside. That's why I say this body work is a losing battle. So you got some rust coming through here. Now I didn't paint this yet last year, a couple years ago when I did it. So I got a little rust here. It's going to rust. It's going to peel. There's no way else to do it other than to have it stripped right down professionally. So the way I'm doing it is what I can afford. And if I can get it, if I have to do this once a year, that's a pain in the neck, but I'll do it. And this is what I'm using: gloss Rust-Oleum protective enamel oil base. And I'm brushing it on with foam brush. I have used the Rust-Oleum spray, and all that does is turn gray with the hot sun, like I showed you on the door, and it peels anyway. So I'd rather brush it on because it's a little breezy today and it wouldn't be a good day to spray anyways. Now it's not bad. Not bad at all, but the top of that truck is probably about 150, or it feels like 175 degrees. You can't keep your hand on it. Okay, the next one I'm going to use is 150 grit. Then we're going to finish it off with 220. In between, I'll be wiping them down with paint thinner. Alright, I finished with all 4 sides of the 150 paper. I'll show you on the roof here. Nothing to be proud of, I'll tell you right now, but what we're going to do now is get some paint thinner and wipe it down. I brushed it down and took the cloth and dusted off as much as I could. We're going to put the paint thinner on here, I'll wipe it down, and then I'm going to use the 220 paper on it. Alright, this is hot as hell, boy. You can't keep your hand on this roof. Alright, this is the best I can do. I know you guys out there that do body work, every once in a while I get somebody that criticizes my work. And I don't put this up here to show how to do body work. I just put these things up here to share with you. Just to make a video, if nothing else, just for entertainment purposes. This is not the right way to do it, so don't criticize it. And if I get too many criticisms, I'll take the comments off. I'm just showing you what I'm doing when a truck that's trying to keep running. I don't want any leaks in the roof, and that's all I'm doing. Okay, started off with 60 grit, then 150 grit, and then 220. She's already dry to the touch. There's only one coat on here. You're never going to get that smooth. Not without big time sandblasting and stuff, but it don't look all that bad. And look down at the hood, I did that too. Yeah. I sanded it lightly. It wasn't peeling, it just had, you know, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but pretty crappy looking, but protect it, that's the thing. Well, I covered up the pinholes with I think there's two pinholes in there. I put silicone on the inside, black silicone, on the inside of the hood yesterday, so that should keep the water out. And this don't look too bad. Not too bad, not good. What do you know? The first dandelion of the year. Well, it looks good from a distance. This truck has what you call a far away look to it. The farther away you are from it, the better it looks. Okay, there was a pinhole here, and I think there was a pinhole in here, which I didn't get silicone in there yet. Water was on the air cleaner. Now, I painted this yesterday. I had some of this Ford engine paint left over, was in the cellar of the old house, and it goes back to the late 70s, early 80s, and still good. So this was all rusty. This always gets rusty and peels all the time, but I never had water on it, and I was wondering what it was, and I found out last week you could see daylight right through here. A little tiny pinhole here, but I couldn't see anything here, but this looks like it's bad too. I'm going to just clean that up with a rag and get the dirt off of that, and stick some, I got some black Permatex RTV I'm going to stick in there like I did here, and that should keep the water out of it. This is a drain hole here. I wouldn't close that up necessarily. The right way to do this would be to probably bondo the top of the hood in that area, but I didn't do it. You know, I mean, the truck sits around a lot. The thermostat housing there, it looks pretty bad, but it's not leaking. I remember I made a video on changing the thermostat in this truck. It goes back quite a few years. There's mothballs here and mothballs over here. And in the wintertime, I don't have any problem where I'm storing the truck. I don't have any mice coming in here. I have it when I used to keep it here. Used to throw the mothballs down in here in the engine. And I have some more over here in this little bag that has to be filled up again. This out. So that's what I'm going to do, is fix that. I'll do that off camera. I just want to show you the stuff that I am doing to keep the truck going here. This is the paint that I had in the old house in the cellar. Bought it in Benny's, $2.99. So I'm going to probably say maybe the early 80s. Probably. Because I had a 71 Ford Econoline and I painted the valve cover. And this is a Ford Blue. I also used it on this Dodge pickup truck to paint the valve covers when I first got the truck. Well, it's time to clean my hands. But first I'm going to put that silicone in that hood in the inside there. I'll do that off camera. And that's it. We'll let that paint dry, and then we'll bring the truck back over into storage after I go out for coffee with it. It starts right up. It's been sitting there for like, I'd say about 3 weeks. It starts right up, no problem at all. Alright, so thank you for watching. You have a good day and stay out of trouble.